I find myself very concerned about the environment. What's happening?
We can see why.
Nova had a special recently on global warming and global cooling. And we're right at the precipice right now of a potential complete collapse of our environment.
No, you're not.
Okay, well, at least in the physical presence, it seems that that's what's going on.
We know.
And so I'm very concerned about nuclear waste and not being able to deactivate it. And I'm very concerned about the rivers being polluted and the earth being polluted and the skies being polluted. So I'm truly heartfelt.
We know you are. And we are trying to maintain our flippant behavior.
No, it's okay. I mean, I'm just here.
We're not doing a very good job of it, however.
Good.
The reason that we are attempting playfulness with you is because we have the advantage of broader view. And we were talking about that already here today, about how it's easy for non-physical to stand in its place of knowing well-being and watch you living your contrast and then feel the power of what you're asking for and then become a vibrational match to it. So each time, we're getting a bit of a ringing here, or maybe it is a heister. Each time that someone like you observes something like a television special or hears something from some scientific point of view, and as you said, a very heartfelt desire is born from you, that desire expresses forward from you, and as that desire expresses forth from you, source becomes one with that desire. So what we're saying to you is, every time there is pollution in a river and someone gives it their attention, or every time there is information given about something that makes your planet look less stable, when people who are aware of it, and this is a wonderful time for that, because the technology of your planet makes more of you aware of more of these things than ever before, so it causes more of you as a collective consciousness or as a mass consciousness to launch your rockets of desire. And if you have heard anything that we've offered here today, what that means is there is more asking about planetary well-being than has ever happened before, which means there's more answering. In other words, the vibrational escrow of life on planet Earth is bolder and more strident and more solid and more there than it has ever been before, because these leading edge creators like yourself have asked for more than you have ever asked for before. And as a result, there is a stronger stream of well-being that is flowing. So then what happens is, an interesting thing happens to Earth's population, because those of you who go with the flow begin to feel better than you've felt before. You begin to thrive in your bodies. You begin to thrive financially. You begin to thrive in clarity. In other words, when you go with that flow, you not only feel wonderful because of what you're focused upon, but you allow all of the beneficial resources to reach you as a result of your focus. When you watch documentaries that make you worry, that make you push against, then you cause a tug of war to go on inside of you that is not beneficial to you. So what happens is that individuals, and we know that you are seeing it today, there are scientific studies about this that are documenting that, although we are not too excited about most scientific studies because they pretty much prove the premise that they're starting out to prove, because law of attraction is afoot, you know. But one of the things that happens is, one of the things that you must be seeing everywhere is that those who are thriving more, and those who are not thriving are thriving less. In other words, the people who are well are weller, and the people who are sick are sicker. The people who are prospering more. The people who are not prospering are really, there's a dramatic crevasse because the energy is moving so fast that when you go with the flow, oh boy, do you thrive. And when you don't, it beats you up pretty good, you see. So we understand what the data that you're collecting means to you, and we love the step one effect that it has. In other words, we think that the more people that are aware of that, the more they will ask for more, because they care about their lives, and they care about the lives of their children, and they care about the lives of their grandchildren, and they care about the flora and the fauna. They care about what's going on this magnificent planet. And we are here to tell you, as we have a glimpse not only of the vibrational escrow of planet Earth, but we have a clear view of what's actually going on planet Earth, you are in no danger. So use whatever data you choose to hook you up or tear you apart, but we promise you this is bigger than all of you. If it were up to humans, you'd have been a long time ago. You are source energy, and the well-being of this planet is secure. It is that's not saying that somebody's not going to burn their house down. That's not saying that there's not going to be a bomb dropped in a place that you don't want a bomb dropped. But the overwhelming well-being of this planet is stable and solid and always will be. And we give that to you from the highest authority, from the broadest view. It is our heartfelt knowing.
So does that mean that we're coming from a place of not being connected to Source, and that because we're not connected to Source, the resistance and the negativity is keeping us stuck in what we consider to be a polluted structure?
Only as individuals, but you got to get out there and look around. In other words, look around this planet, fly around it, drive around it. Look at the enormous well-being that abounds. You're not in trouble, you're not in trouble, you're not in trouble. Well-being abounds. And it is only those who seek to prosper in some way by shining a spotlight on what's wrong. It's like deciding that you will go to Paris, thinking about it for a long time, planning your trip, getting there and stepping out of the taxi cab into the sewer and saying, oh, so this is Paris. Getting back in your taxi cab and saying, I didn't like Paris, and flying back to your country. In other words, you've got to look from broader view. And certainly there are pockets. A person can be mostly healthy and have a shadow that the doctor diagnoses as an illness, and still the majority of their body is well-being. And if they can take their attention from the illness, they will continue to thrive. But a person, do you know that you could look at one thing that the doctor found on the x-ray, give it your undivided attention, and your entire body would then begin to diminish to the vibrational level of that one thing that you're giving your attention to? And your planet is not different from that. What you give your attention to is what matters. We want you to understand that collectively you're not in trouble, because collectively you are so innately selfish. People come to gatherings like this day in and day out, and it is so rare that someone sits and asks a global question. Mostly they want to talk about their kids, their money, their body, their relationships. They want to talk about their mother, their father, their brother, their sister. They want to talk about the things that are personal and up close to them. Whereas most people are not looking with broader view, and that's an advantage, because that means the majority of people on this planet are not worried about that. And that is bothersome to those who need you to be worried in order to support whatever that they're trying to fund. But we want you to understand that well-being does abound. It's huge. You knew when you came forth into this physical environment that there would be a continual rebalancing. Your planet constantly rebalances itself. You knew there would be earthquakes and volcanoes. You knew that there would be hurricanes. You knew that there would be a distribution of water resources. You knew that. You knew that this is the environment of diversity. You knew that. But you also knew that the opportunity to thrive in this environment was enormous, and still is. And you would not have come if you did not know that. And we promise you, the stream of energies that are queued up, getting ready to come forth in greater proportion than we've ever seen into physical bodies in your time-space reality, would not be coming forth with such gay abandon if they were watching Nova with you.
See, Nova, to me, is just a take action kind of a thing, just to be aware that there's something that needs to be done.
Well, as we say, we applaud it for its step one potential, because when a well-meaning, very clear-minded person like you, who cares deeply about what's going on, watches something like that, you launch a powerful rocket of desire, and Source enjoys the powerful point of view that you have identified. But you see, you can't see something going wrong with your earth and fear it without launching an equal vibration about what you want. And that's the rocket that we ride, and that's the rocket that we encourage you to ride. In other words, that's going with the flow. That's going with the flow. Going with the flow means find the well-being wherever it is. And what we're wanting to point out to you is that no matter where you're standing on this planet, with a little bit of effort and getting pointed in the right direction, you can't help but find well-being, because it is extraordinarily abundant. And what's going wrong is minuscule by comparison, you see. Minuscule by comparison.